everybody, what's up? It's Tipping the Scales. I'm your girl, Shea Dawson.
And I'm Tyneeha Rivers, aka Momma T today.
Let's go, Momma T. It's been a minute. I missed you.
I miss you too. Boo.
Man. What? Tell the world, what was I doing? What was I doing this whole time?
Everything. I mean,
everything.
You are the most busiest person I know. And your opening weekend was on fire. So shout out to Overtime.
Shout out to Overtime. We just launched our league, OTE, and it was amazing. So thanks for giving me the grace to do that and miss an episode. So love you. All right, who do we got today, T? Who's our special guest for
it's
today?
My kid, Mr. The Mikal Bridges. What's up, kiddo?
How you doing, mother? How you doing today?
I'm fantastic. How are you?
I'm great.
Yeah? Okay.
Enjoying a nice little off day.
Yeah, real laid back. What were you doing before our time together?
Playing new Call of Duty that just dropped yesterday.
Okay.
So we're taking time from Call of Duty.
It shows that, you know.
Your commitment. I love
exactly.
That
exactly.
You do love me. I mean, there's a lot that I had to sacrifice as a mom, but I'll save that for later. We just get warmed up, so I'll behave myself. So listen, congratulations on your contract extension. That's big time. Super proud of you.
Super proud.
Appreciate it.
But before we start talking about your basketball journey, I think it'll be great to just tell us because everyone always asks me this and I'm like, at what point did you know that I'm going to be an NBA player and this is what I'm going to do for the rest of my life?
Dang, you took my question, T.
Sorry, Bill.
It's all good.
I think when I went to Villanova, I think that kind of was the whole thing. Obviously, as a kid, I want to go to NBA, but I think once I went to college and going to Nova, like a high major D1 school, I knew that my chances were pretty high if I just, kept getting better and playing hard. So I'd probably say my freshman year of college.
Yeah. It's funny, what do you think people, when people ask me, when did you know that your son was going to be an NBA player? What age do you think I say? Just curious.
The typical mother answer.
What?
The first time he touched the basketball. When he was 2 years old, I knew. Yeah. The typical, you got to say that, though. You got to. So
no, but they truly, mothers, I'm going to say they, even though we're talking about T, she truly believes that.
I honestly did. Thank you, Shea.
She's like, I birthed the best man in the world, and it's true.
I think I said when you were in second grade and you just I felt, I don't know if call it a mom or not, but I just felt that you had an extraordinary gift of athleticism and everything that you did much better than the average kid. So I just figured you had a gift and it was going to take you places. But my mom.
Thank you.
I want to go back to the Villanova thing. What kind of mentality do you have to have and what kind of player do you have to be when I think about Jay Wright, I think about, him redshirting players. What kind of mindset do you have to be in to choose Villanova, a program like that where that's a possibility? And then what was your mindset knowing that you had to be a redshirt? And what did you do that whole entire time? How did you stay mentally, on the same path?
Yeah, so I think the biggest thing for Nova is, like you said, you got to be mentally prepared, mentally tough for it. And, I got hit with that early, my freshman year having the red shirt. But it was easy. I mean, it wasn't easy, but it was an easy decision.
Mm-hmm.
Talking to my mom and my dad, and they both knew, all right, you might not play this much. You get stronger and get better for next year. So the decision was easy, but it was probably one of the toughest years just because my first year of not being able to play basketball when I'm fully healthy. So it was kind of just practice. I'm usually just can't wait for games. So it was really different. But, I have my family, and I think Phil Booth, who was my roommate, he made things easier for me because we both were freshmen. So
Shout
to
out
get my
Phil.
mind, yep,
Hey,
shout out Phil,
Phil.
get my mind off things. We just be in a room playing a game and stuff. Just get my mind off that.
Yeah. So
Yeah.
did you like look forward to practice? Because that was technically your game, right? Like that's when you got to show what you can do.
Yeah, especially when I was getting better. When I could feel the jump when I was getting stronger and better on the court. I was looking for those days to really just show. But
Yeah.
sometimes no, because I know if I practice at the end of it or before it, I'm gonna have a killer workout right after or before. And with Ashley Howard, and you could talk to him, maybe have him on a podcast one time. Just
Oh my God, I love
We're
Ash.
he
definitely
That's
gonna
what's
bring
knows,
up.
Ash on. Yeah, for
he
sure.
knows our freshman year and how tough that was, and all them workouts I had with him. He put me through so much, man. But I mean, he's a big piece of why I'm here right now.
Oh,
Awesome.
that's awesome.
So, of course, two-time champion at Villanova, which is outstanding and doesn't happen often.
Ugh.
Talk to us a little bit about how did you feel? So, of course, the first time you won a championship, and then the second time, like, how do you compare and contrast? Were you more proud the second time? Or just talk to us a little bit about the championship run.
I think the first one was probably one of my favorites because they didn't have us winning it. There's a lot of teams with a lot of really good players at the time who was like player of the year and things like that. And we were kind of look at the underdogs, even though we were a high seed. So I think that was probably my favorite ones. And I was young, like real young. I was a sophomore. It was my first year
Yeah.
of playing. So like I was about 18 or 19 playing, and I was just like just being a part of that and watching all the videos and all the March Madness stuff and being a part of it was really dope. The second one was fun, but the second one was kind of like, yeah, like you got to win this. Like you have to win. Like the talent we had and the maturity we had on the team, like we had to win. It was like win or bust. And so
And you were the
but
captain of that team, right?
yeah, so that's why I like that one because I had more of a role. But I think that the first one was it was wild. It was so much fun.
Because it was unexpected, probably.
100%. Yeah.
Right?
Yeah.
And then the second one, you were captain, so you had probably the weight on your shoulders. Well, what kind of lessons did you learn in coming off of a championship and then being captain of the team? Like, was there anything that you learned differently? I mean, I just watch you in the league now, and I kind of feel like those things have helped you like become battle tested. Like, what were the things like that you had to overcome, I guess, as a captain of a team?
Yeah, I think the former captains before, all the older guys before me kind of made it easier. Just watching guys like Arch, Daniel, JP, Darren, and with Josh, Chris, and Daryl, when they all became captains as well, you just see that, you have another level of just you might struggle, but you can't get too emotionally on yourself because, they need you out there. So you kind of got to, if you're a little bit down and struggling, you still got to pick the team up in a way. But also my team, my last year was just great because everybody really had a voice. And like I said, we was pretty mature vet team. So it just felt like everybody on that court, starting five and players coming off the bench were like all captains. So it was pretty dope.
Yeah. What would you say was the hardest part of making that transition from playing at Villanova to then going to the NBA?
I think the 82 games, the body. I think that was definitely toughest just because they always talk about the rookie wall and when you'll hit it. And I just didn't really believe in it too much until where I felt like, I just thought it was just something they'll say, just kind of scare you a little bit. But now I've been through it and felt it. Yeah, I couldn't. Things I wanted to do, my legs just couldn't do. And it was frustrating because I want to jump or run hard and my legs is literally telling me like, I cannot do this for you. And it was tough. It was a struggle. And we do so much testing, like with jumps and all type of things in the weight room. So the numbers will show like, yeah, like when you were jumping on this force plate, the speed and the velocity and how high you jump, you could tell when you hit your little rookie wall because all your numbers are
Yeah.
down. So
Right.
Wow.
So what do you do to get past that rookie wall? Or I guess that's definitely the dog that your
That's
mom.
it
Sunny.
is.
Hey,
That's Sunny.
Sunny.
Hey, Sunny. Well, what do you do to get past that? Like, how does it? Yeah, how do you get past the rookie wall? Or is it time? Is it All-Star break? What is it that
Uh,
helps you kind of get your second win?
yeah, I think also break helps, but I think just realizing taking care of my body even more,
Yeah.
and also just kind of accepting that it's a rookie wall and it's not a bad thing. A
Mm.
lot of people go through it, so mentally it was tough at a point, but having everybody in the staff and players on my team like, listen, like, understand you're frustrated, but it happens to everybody. So it kind of got my mind off that a little bit. But I think All Star break and really taking care of my body even more helped.
Yeah.
I love it.
So I have to ask him, am I allowed to ask mom questions here? Like, of course, I'm a host, co-host, but am I able to ask mom questions? Are you okay with that?
Sure. It's your show. It's
So
you guys' show. I'm here.
so you've never once complained, and I mean not ever from the time even when you redshirted to the struggles of hitting the wall when in your rookie year to all the tough trials and tribulations just being a player at all. Like you've never once said this is hard, I can't do it. Like you never once complained to me, not one time in your entire this whole your career thus far. Like, how do you like why first, why not? And then two, just what do you do to like who do you have someone that you talk to get it all out? Because I know you balance so many things. So do you have a go-to person? Because you'd never complain to me ever.
Yeah. There's two reasons to that.
Okay.
Good
One,
question, T.
you
Thank you.
overreact a lot because you're a mother and I'm your only child. So that's one reason why I
Okay.
don't tell you things about like things like that. And
Yeah.
then two, I mean, it happened in college. I got it really from you when Arlisha used to tell me about your job and how you weren't happy with it, but I could never tell. And I remember
Mm.
Arlisha, I think, kind of told me by accident. I think she didn't mean to tell me.
Arlisha, I'm gonna kick your ass, Arlisha.
I think she was just kind of like feeling for you, and like something happened, and she was just trying to tell me to do something like for your mom, this and that. And I guess she kind of got just speaking off her heart and just kind of forgot that she wasn't
Yeah.
supposed to kind of tell me. So I just remember she told me that, and it kind of like pushed back in my eyes, like, oh wow, like I would never know. I talk to you every single day, like not every other day, like every day. So I would know if
Yeah.
you didn't like your job or not. So
Okay.
I learned a few things from you. Maybe not basketball skills, but I learned a couple of things.
Ah, I love that.
So look, I have a quick fun story about Mikal and I because we still to this day debate because we're both very competitive, and I
No
can't
shit.
I can't beat him at anything right now, anything physical. So him, my brother, and I, we go back and forth about what I can do, and I love working out, and I can't beat him in a race. I can't beat him of anything like sports, basketball, football, anything. But we have this thing because I am into like longevity. So I go on hikes for like 12 to 15 miles. He's like, you got me there. I don't got time for that. I'm on a hike.
Mm-hmm.
And I said, well, let's go on a bike ride for 25 miles. I can probably beat you at that. But I can't beat him at anything. But I think about the story when Mikal was, were you a junior in high school? Was you a junior when I was playing you on the court and you made me fall?
Uh, yeah, I might
Footage.
have been college. I might have been freshman year of college.
Oh, I need
Okay, so
that.
he was even more of a beast. Okay. So freshman year in college, I still think I can take him. So we're playing one-on-one at Great Valley High School. Shout out to Kyrie, my little nephew. He was there filming it. I don't know what he ever did with that, but he can't show anyone. He's not allowed. And Mikal crossed me over. dunked on me and I fell on the ground.
Oh.
And he didn't even look back. And Kyrie was like, "Oh, Auntie, are you okay?" He's like, "She want to play. She want to play me. That's what happens." Like,
okay, Kobe.
How do you feel about dunking on your mom and making her fall on the ground, bro? I mean, really.
Keep the baby out of the street. That's all I gotta say.
Shea, don't let him come from Shea. Oh my God, Shea, really?
Keep the baby out of the street. As a mother, you should know this. Keep your kids and your babies away from the street. It's dangerous. You do not want them to be out there, and they might get hit by a car, something like that. So that's all I gotta say. That situation.
Okay. I'm with you, Mikal. Like once you step in between the lines, it's over. Sure. Like, what are you doing?
She the one that wanted to play me. I was even the one that was forced to that. Waking up a beast. It's like, I was asleep.
You heard it here. You heard it here. Mikal dunked on his mom and has no remorse.
None. I mean, I literally fell backwards on the ground. And I was mad. I just jumped up, brushed myself off. And I was like, again, let's go again. I wanted to get down and dirty, but he dunked on me hard. I mean,
as he should.
It was a hard fall. And I don't remember you saying you were sorry or anything. So you have a new opportunity to make it right. Is there anything you want to say to me?
There's no need. Keep the babies out of the streets.
And for those of you guys can't see this, but my lovely co-host, who I like to think of as my sister, is doing the motion of rocking a baby right now.
That's what we do. Yeah. Yeah. You're a baby. I love that. I love that. This dynamic, I've been actually waiting for this because I get to see T talk to her all the time too, but I can see a lot of you and her, Mikal, and it's just crazy. Like just the stoicness of just like how calm you are, and T is also like that. And I just, when you said like, yeah, I got some of that from you, and that's why it's important to share T's stories, and it's always important to not come off as too strong because you never know who you're inspiring. Mm-hmm. And clearly the things you've been through, you've inspired your child to take on some of that. And so I'm not surprised by the things that he's accomplished.
Thanks.
Yeah. And Mikal, I haven't seen you since 2018, since the NBA draft.
Wow.
I was with you.
What a day.
What a day, right? And for those of you who don't know, T and I's former employer, the 76ers, drafted him for an hour or so, or less maybe. Not even. But when I look at the state of the team now, I think, God, what a blessing it was, to be honest. Because you're a Western Conference champion. You're a huge part of the Phoenix Suns organization, the team, you know, how well they do. I mean, you're a crazy defensive stopper. Like we were watching you versus LeBron and we were just like, what is his plus minus right now? Like you were just everywhere. Your activity was incredible. So talk about,
look at my baby. Look at my baby.
I mean, and I felt like, I'm like, oh my God. But just talk about like, I mean, I know you wanted to be a Sixer. We wanted you to be a Sixer. And then you became a Phoenix Sun. Like, what was that like? Mentally, I don't really know because I saw you, but I don't really know. I don't know what's in your heart. So I would love to know since I was with you in that moment, but I couldn't express that, you know?
That's a good question.
Well, it was tough. It was tough. It was really tough. I mean,
yeah.
I left my phone at the table, but she was the first person I called. I used Kat. She worked Nova, but she worked for the NBA now, and she was the one escorting me around.
Yep.
And I used her phone, called my mom, and I know how I felt about the news. I just make sure what she felt.
Yeah.
And I remember I called her and I was like, "You good?" And she was like, "Yeah." I mean, "Are you good?" I'm like, "I mean, yeah." She's like, "All right." Like, I guess we're going to Phoenix. I'm like, "I bet." So,
so if she's good, we good. Gotcha.
Exactly. And I think that was funny because we both were like more worried about what the other person felt, but besides like ourselves. So it was,
I mean, that just goes to show, and I just have to give you a shout out because you are just, first of all, you have always been an amazing son. Just everything I could ask for. Try not to get emotional and cry. I specifically didn't wear any lashes, Mikal, because I said I was going to cry. And I
hope this is recorded. My mom watches this. Because all the cat that she be telling my grandma. Oh. Where is
let's keep her out of it for
where is she?
now.
Where is my
But
grandmother
you definitely have just been an amazing son. And I think what I'm proud of you the most is the fact that you are just an awesome human being. You know, of course, the work that you put in and just seeing you from this small kid to becoming a man to being a really good player. And I still think the sky is the limit, that folks haven't seen all that you can do. So more to come. But you are just a good person.
Mm.
Every single person that I come across, whether it be from you being in middle school to high school, from college, anyone that comes across your path, one of the things they say to me, you did a great job. Mikal's a wonderful person. He is so humble. So the fact that you've remained the same, you're my same kid that you were, because you know, 25 years old now, and you're the same person. You haven't changed. And I'm just so proud of you, because I would have never, I can't, it's just, it's mind blowing to me to see you where you are today. But for you to just remain humble and be just such a great person, I just really applaud you for that. Thank you. Yeah.
So beautiful. Oh man, it's just I love it. And I am a huge athlete advocate. Like I have brothers who played and play, and I'm constantly always trying to make the space better, the transition, the process better for those that follow in you guys' footsteps. Those meaning players who have been drafted and made it to the NBA. So,
at?
what are some of the assumptions? You know, to T's point, you're an amazing human being, but what are some of the assumptions about athletes that you wish people would stop making,
Yeah.
or that you wish people knew about just you as people and the space you hold in the NBA and being notable people, notable figures? Like, what are some things that why do people always do that, or why they always say that
Yeah.
that they don't know about?
Um, I don't know. I don't like the whole. I don't like the whole celebrity thing just in general because
Yeah,
at the end of the day, we're human. None different. But you know what I'm saying? I'm not. One day we live and and obviously die, but like I'm no different. You know what I'm saying? So all I do is put the basketball in a hoop sometimes and
yeah,
guard some people. But at the end of the day, I mean, you're humans. Everybody else has something they're good at. Um, Shoot, I wished
Yeah.
I could be one of them guys off Jeopardy that know every single thing. Like, I think that's more useful than me playing basketball at times. You know what I'm saying? Like, I'd rather have the knowledge like that than
yeah.
be able to put, the hoop, put the ball in a hoop. So,
The
I just feel like
pedestal they
that's,
put you on.
Yeah.
yeah,
You
but
hate
I
that.
think that's just goes with, a lot of other people. But, I mean, end of the day, man, like I said, I just human people. I tweet and stuff. People just like, oh, he's just like me, just like I'm like, well, yeah, I am because I'm human, bro. I'm sorry, like, I'm sorry,
Right,
you just figured that out now. I'm like, yeah, I watch
right,
football on Sundays.
Yeah.
Like, yeah, I'm human. I promise you.
right. Like I
What
wear a jersey, but I'm a human. Like I do the
Exactly.
same things you do. Yeah.
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 What keeps you humble? Like what, because listen, there's a lot of folks that get money, and Shea can attest to this for sure. They change, right? Like I think Shea, you were just saying at the start, we were talking a little bit earlier about how sometimes people with money can be assholes. Like that's just true.
Or it changes the people around you. So yes.
Exactly. So what do you do to remain humble? Because you are very humble. And I think that's what I respect about you the most.
I think it's friends and family around. Um, I think they make it easy. Just honestly, there's no need to change.
Yeah.
I like who I am. So I just think that's just my people around me who just I'm close with. I feel like if I did change, they'll either not like me or they'll make fun of me, and I'm just like, there's no reason
I
to.
would definitely make fun of you for sure.
So I don't know. I feel like just being humble and nice is just kind of a good way to go.
Okay.
Kindness. I like
Yeah,
it.
I like kindness. Lead with kindness. We all need to be kind for sure.
Yeah.
I think we mentioned that Shay and I did our previous episode, we talked about leadership and the purpose of, being humble and being authentic and being kind. And I think that's just who we have to be as human beings. But just you make my heart flutter, Mikal. You really do.
I love it. So it's just, I love that you said that because you're actually on a really kind team. Like Monty Williams was at the Sixers. I worked a lot with him. One of the kindest, most thoughtful human beings.
Yeah.
You got a teammate in Landry Shamet, who's also one of the kindest,
Sham.
most down to earth, deep people. And then you. So I can only imagine what that team is like, a team full of philosophers. But like, what is it like being coached by him, and how is that? How does your mindset and his mindset go together? I don't know. Do you ever see it crossing over? Like, just wondering how that dynamic is.
Man, he did a lot, for me, helped me be in the position I'm in right now. Sometimes some coaches will tell you things that you don't want to hear. But he's the person that told me that off the rip.
Yeah.
So he helped me so much. And just at the end of the day, he kind of, he tells us all the time, but for me, it would always stick with me. Just, it's bigger than basketball. You're not playing basketball the rest of your lives, so don't get ruin your day if you don't play well or things like that. Like this is bigger than basketball. And, I struggle, like, competitive. So I struggle with not playing well or things like that. And, he used to always talk to me, always tell me to never lose my spirit. And that's always stuck with me ever since. If I ever get a tattoo, he's like, that will be one of the other things besides probably her or my mom or something like that on it. But
first of
like,
all, you're not getting
spirit.
a tattoo. You don't even like needles. That's not going to happen. But
one day.
You never know, T. You never know. But shout out to Monty Williams, honestly. Like,
yes.
I mean, people don't know his greatness. I mean, I think they do, but you don't know unless you've been in a space with him. So like, that's so dope that like something that he said you would, that would have the premise of a tattoo. Like, I just think that's super dope. So I just knew that there was a vibe there between you two because I'm just watching you and listening to you. So I already knew that he was a soulful person. So that's what's up.
Shout out to Monty from one parent to another. Mikal, what do you have to say because look, I think I love that I get to ask you all the questions people ask me, first of all. This just makes my life easier because I can just take back what you say.
And send it to him.
Exactly.
Like, here you go.
This is what Mikal said. But one of the things that I get all the time is, what advice do you have for anyone who wants to be an NBA, whether it be a little girl who wants to go into WNBA or someone who wants to play professional basketball? What advice do you have for them in order to get there?
I mean, if it's your goal, is just work at it. Especially if you're young, I think the biggest thing is just to really just play, just have fun, enjoy being a kid. Try any sport you want. You'll realize when you want to stay with one sport. It's kind of tough nowadays, just how social media stuff is. And, some parents, everybody's different, but parents kind of training their kids and who's like 10 years old to be like these superstars, just like training them like how professional athletes train. I was just like, I get it. It works, sometimes it works, but I just think for greater good, just, let them be kids. And they want to go run outside, and maybe if they want to play basketball, but they're all day, they're playing football, like let them do that. But I think just let kids be kids, and then they'll figure out, what they want to do as they get older.
Well, it's funny that you said let kids be kids, Mikal, because one of the things that you love to do as a kid and you still love to do right now is play video games. But I don't know if you used to remember, but I would come home and I'd be like, Mikal, like, did you put up any shots? Like, that would legit piss me off when I would know that you would play video games for a long period of time without putting up any shots. I'm like, you need to put up X amount of shots and don't make if you miss, take this many. Like, how did you feel about that when I would come home and yell and be mad because you just have this love, this affinity for video games?
It's the same thing when you tell me to do my homework when I'll be on the game. It's like, you're right. I should, but sometimes it's tough. Be locked in with my
First
friends.
of
It's
all,
tough. It'd be tough. I promise.
but wait, Shay. So
What?
Mikal used to sneak and watch TV. So I would say, go into his room at night, like, okay, Mikal, love you.
Love
Like, we
you.
love you too, mom. I turned the TV off. So he was in like elementary school. And what I would literally turn the TV off, go to bed. And,
Yep.
one day I was going to the bathroom. It's like 3 o'clock in the morning.
Saw the little light.
Yes, I heard it. This dude wide awake. So
My brother was the same. My brother, this
crazy.
back when we had house phones, landlines, I would see the cord all the way from the living room down the hallway. I'd be like, that dude's on the phone. He's supposed to be asleep. But
Crazy.
I think that's super funny, though. I think that's super funny, you guys' dynamic. Mikal, did you ever get pissed at your mom? Like, did she know? Like, did you guys ever argue like that? Or just what she says goes, even though you get frustrated?
No, especially when I was a kid with sports and things. Like when she used to be able to beat me in tennis. Oh my God, I didn't want to talk to her the rest of the day. Not one bit. Like
So
actually,
competitive.
oh yeah, 100%. Did not want to talk to her. Get in a car and just look out the
The
window.
whole ride home,
Give
he
me
would say
home.
nothing.
Give me home.
Yeah.
Give me home.
He would
Like,
not
leave
talk
me
to me.
I don't even remember what happened today. Just give me home. I
That's
don't even like tennis. I
hilarious.
hate the sport now.
Well, the
But nah.
thing is, I literally would not let him win. And that used to shout out to my mother. Hey, mom.
Shout out to you. What do you mean?
But
Like,
no, because listen, my mom would be so
Do that to you?
mad at me. Like what, she would call, he would call, sneak on the phone, call his grandmom up,
Yeah.
tell on me. And she would call me and be so mad, like, what type of mother are you? What type of mother doesn't let her 7-year-old kid win in a game? Like, cause you're, of course you could be more physical than him. You're a grown woman. Like, how did you not let your son win? And she would be so pissed off. But look at now. I can't beat him in anything now.
Yo, you can't get these stories.
And
this
he
is
cheated.
great.
Well, listen, we play everything competitively because that's just how we're wired. Last time he cheated me in Scrabble. I definitely won, Mikal. I want that on the books. And but we competed everything. Seriously.
Man, this is incredible. This is incredible. I can only imagine because T is very competitive at work too, but she does it with a smile. Like, Mikal, you don't know this, but so 2 things. So one, when I was getting ready for you to come and do your pre-draft workout with us, I asked her if she could write a note to put in the car for you. Do you remember that?
Yeah.
The note that was on the TV. She wrote a note for you.
Yeah.
Okay, so when I went to go ask her, she wasn't trying to hear nothing. She was like, "How is he playing though? Like, what is he doing?" I'm like, Tyneeha, like, I want to do something nice for him. Let him know, like, you're.
I don't hear that.
She was like,
"What's the shot?"
I don't care nothing about.
I was like,
Shea, what do he look like? Is he balling? I was like, okay, so she's different. That
100%.
is on another. She's on another level. And then, so she was in charge of firing everybody. And we had this glass building.
Conversations for people.
Okay, transition them out.
Yeah,
transition them out. So anyway, so the building's all glass. So you could see from the time she's coming down the stairs out and be walking with her heels fast, coming straight through, and everybody be like our hearts literally stopped. We thought it could have been us. And it was, thank God it was never me, but you don't know that, but yeah, your mom used to come in there like she's the only person that really had access to the building besides, other higher ups, but so crazy.
So Mikal, when you look back, to where you are right now, like you're playing, first of all, you're playing great. If you ask me, you are so confident right now. And I think you're kind of leading with that confidence. And I'm up all night watching these games. Can't get up to go to my workouts. And my trainer's super mad. But when you look back, what would you say, what was your biggest obstacle to get to the level that you're playing right now? What was the biggest obstacle to get there?
I really just in life in general. You're saying like any time in life
or anything, your biggest obstacle to be? Yeah.
That was that freshman year. That freshman year of
That
redshirt.
freshman year.
It was tough. It
Huh.
was really, most people
Beneficial.
would transfer or something out that situation, but like I'm saying, man, my teammates, they helped me out, and I liked it there too much not to leave, but I had to sacrifice. And I know you just kind of, obviously, when it comes to working out, to weight loss or trying to gain weight or anything in life, you making money, like you want it now. You know what I'm saying? You want it now, and
Yeah.
you don't want to wait to the future. You don't, because you're not sure. You don't know what's going to happen. You just
Yeah.
hope and work, and hopefully at that time it works out. But
Yeah, sure.
just knowing the unknown and wanting to play right now is tough. I don't know if I was they did to me the next year. Now stories of kids that go to college,
Yeah.
redshirt one year, and then don't play the next year, then end up transferring, and now they got to find their way, and you might be on the third school by their fourth year. So I think that was definitely the toughest, obstacle for me.
Shout out for
Great
Dylan.
question.
Yeah.
Great
That was
answer.
tough. Yeah.
Love it. Two things. Who is the hardest person to guard, and what's your favorite team to get buckets on or to play? Do you get excited about any team, or is there any team that has your number that you're just like, oh, we got to play these guys?
Um, Toughest to guard. So many. It's
Because you do
when
well.
hard.
I mean, I watch you.
I always say that the toughest person I ever had to guard was Harden, especially in Houston. I think we ran up on him a couple times when he was on that, averaging like 40 or going like 40, 50 for the whole couple weeks for the month. It was just like crazy. Nothing you can do. And especially at home, he went to Arizona State. So he always felt some type of way when he came and played at Phoenix.
Hilarious.
So he was always the toughest I remember ever since I got in the league.
Mm-hmm.
And then what was your last one?
Either a favorite team to play, like you knew you was gonna get buckets, or a team
favorite
that
team.
you just didn't want to see.
I always love playing back home in Philly. I think that's always the best. Just because I know Wells Fargo so well. Just
Oh
playing
my God.
all my home games there my last year. And I always love MSG. I always love playing at MSG. The Big East tournament, I think is one of the best tournaments ever. Just being at MSG. That's kind of only Staples. See, Staples is cool, but I'm an East Coast kid, so Staples was never a thing to me. Like I wasn't never get to Staples and go, oh, this is Staples Center. Like I'm so used to MSG being like, oh, this is Madison Square Garden. So I don't get starstruck by any gyms or arenas, but every time I walk in there, it's like, yeah, this is MSG for sure.
Nice. Very
I love
nice. I love that too. Tell us a little bit about Mikal off court. Like for those of you who are, you have a nice following. People love Mikal Bridges, but tell them a little bit about who that kid is off court. Like, what do you do for fun outside of playing video games? Give us a little bit of flavor about Mikal.
I don't do too much. Play the game. Take the dog outside.
Play with Sonny.
Yep, take care of this crazy boy over here.
I miss Sonny.
And watch football, man. I'm big football.
Yeah.
Who's your team?
Oh boy,
Rams.
Here we go.
LA Rams.
The Rams? LA Rams? Wow. Crazy. Yeah. What about business? Like, do you have any NFTs coming out? You got any business ventures, investments? Like, are you into that? And if
I do, but I'll try to think about it too much on my off day. Off day is just like anything I got to do with my life and basketball and all that, just put it to the side. I like to not worry about those things and just chill, man. Just chill, play the game, or either Sunday, Monday, Thursday. Just can't wait for football to be on. But she knows about them Sundays.
I was literally going to say, Shea, I have a very small window that I get to talk to Mikal on Sundays. He's like, Mom, about to, what today is. And I have I feel like he's like checking a box, like, hey, Mom, you good? Okay. Yeah. Okay. All right.
I love it.
It's football Sunday. I'm like,
I love that.
Dang.
That to me is the type of communication I appreciate, because he's not saying you're not important on this day. So he's making sure he's checking in because
boy.
he's letting you know that he's going to be out for the rest of the day.
I'm locked.
So
I'm
to
locked
me,
the whole day.
and for an elite athlete, for a pro, I think that's above board. That's amazing. Like some people wouldn't even give you the courtesy. Like, right, Mikal? So
I'm not being grateful for that 5 little minutes I get on Sundays. No freaking way. And I know what I'm doing. I'll just annoy him because I know he's like what he calls locked in and he doesn't want to be bothered. And I'll call him. He's like, hey, mom, like, what do you want?
No
He's
day
so nice. He doesn't say, what do you want?
But what about you? Is there any times where you're like, Mikal, leave me alone? Like, I'm doing this now.
Oh, well, we have this thing, him and I. So I'm busy, like, typically during the day at work. I'm in meetings back to back, sometimes from the moment that I get in to 7, 8 o'clock. And if he hasn't heard from me, he'll text me. Do I have a mother? Question mark. And then if I haven't heard from him and I'm busy and I'm trying to reach out and he's like MIA, I text him. Do I have a kid? Question mark. I do the same thing with my brother. Like I'm like, do I have a brother? Like, so the 3 of us have this thing going on when we don't hear from each other. We're like, hello, like, what's
I love
up?
it.
But normally, look, I'm a mom and, Mikal's just been a spoiled brat his entire life. Anyone who knows him, they know that he's been a rotten brat. So, everyone says like, Mikal can call, you drop everything.
Well, you're the spoiler, so don't be mad at him.
Well, I know, I guess.
I mean,
anyway,
we're getting,
right?
You know what I'm saying? I got you. I got you, Mikal.
What has happened here with us? But I feel like
Mikal, you already know where my loyalty is. It's with the athletes.
I know, damn. I'm so disappointed right now.
But we're coming to an end. We haven't asked you anything, T. You're a mom who has an amazing son, but an elite athlete. You just signed a $90 million contract and you still work. Let's talk about that dynamic because a lot of people think that they got to quit their jobs when their kids do well for themselves. Please share.
So here's the thing.
Your mentality.
Here's my outlook on that. Like the things that Mikal plays for him, right? And this is what athletes need to know is that this career in basketball or whatever sport you're playing, you're not doing that for the rest of your life, right? So the money that you make is, my mindset is that's the money that you're going to have for the rest of your life. So you need to be able to save accordingly so you can live the same lifestyle that you're living today for the rest of your life. So if you start taking care of all these different people, want to buy all, you want a house, like you're not going to have like the money that he has is for him and his future family. He's going to have children one day. And that's for them, not for me. Like now, you want to buy me a house or a car, so I ain't going to turn it down, Whip it up. Give me I might be a little Porsche or a little Range Rover, I ain't going to turn it down.
A little toy here and there.
little shore house. I mean, I don't know. But I do, it is super important for him to save for his future. And that's something that we talked about before he even played. And, for me, I have my own goals. Like these are the things I love to do. Like our podcast together on Tipping the Scales brings me so much joy. And I want to do the things that make me happy. And I want Mikal to understand that he needs to have a future and what he's doing right now is for his future.
Well, kudos to you both for having a great relationship. For having a great relationship and a communicative relationship. I think it's super healthy. And I think that I'm going to use this as, a catalyst to show people like, this is how you do it. Just kudos to both of you. And that's all I got.
And thank you, Mikal, for being with us today. Of course, we enjoyed our time with you and make sure you guys continue to follow Tipping the Scales wherever you get your podcasts. Thank you.
Love you guys. Peace.